A news alert coming in. Twitter has now lost intermediary status in India. With this, Twitter has lost its legal protection in the country. And now, according to sources, the microblogging site lost the intermediary status the moment they didn't comply with the new IT guidelines issued by the government. As per the new digital media rules, all social media giants who have over 5 million users are now required to appoint a grievance officer, a nodal officer and a chief compliance officer from India to act as a bridge between the various entities. Sources have also said that no order will be issued as of now to declare them non-compliant. Let's just go over to our correspondent, principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibal for more on this. Siddhant, thank you for joining us. Now, Twitter has lost its legal protection, like I just mentioned. What can you tell us about the practical implications of the same?
Well, we know that Twitter and the Indian government, the tiff which has been going on, but now it has become a full-blown battle. But the fact that it has lost its intermediary status will be tested with the FIR which has been filed by the Uttar Pradesh police. Now, of course, Twitter will have to face the consequences of that FIR. So that is the practical implication. But by and large, we know that this is something that was building up over past few months. The tiff which was happening between the two sides. In fact, we saw the release versus release by both sides with which came in the backdrop of the Delhi police personnel going to the Twitter offices here in Delhi region, and they giving a notice. This is what Delhi police has said. And in the aftermath of that, Twitter had come out with a very long statement saying that freedom of speech and expression is something that is in danger here in India, and that is something that prompted very strong reaction by the Indian government. Which pointed out that Twitter should act like a US-based company rather than acting like a sovereign. And it was a pretty lengthy release by the Indian government. But nonetheless, at the heart of the entire battle between the two sides are the rules. That came into effect recently and were notified in February. In fact, Twitter was given a 3-month period to implement the rules, but it did not comply.
All right, Siddhant, absolutely. Now, another thing that I want clarity on here is that as per the new media rules, all social media giants, all of them having over 5 million users, are required to appoint a grievance officer, a nodal officer and a chief compliance officer. How do you think that will work?
Well, if we talk about the appointment of these officers, some of these social media giants, in fact, 7 of these social media giants have implemented these specific rules on appointment of these officers. But Twitter stands apart. We know that Twitter has come out with a release which is been going around in the media as well. This is something that the Indian government sources have completely dismissed. They have said no such thing has happened. They haven't shared any name, and of course they said that this release by the Twitter is very, very vague. So it looks like a long haul. But if we talk about the purpose, the implication of appointment of these officers, first, these officers need to be the employees of the social media companies, which of course will forward their names. Secondly, they should be resident of India. And these officers, the redressal officer, the compliance officer, are the officer to which anyone in the country can go to and talk to about the issues, mail them, can also call them and talk to them over hate speech content. So that is why the Indian government wanted the appointment of these nodal officers, and that is why it looks like there were certain social media giants who were dithering, but ultimately they complied with it. But of course, Twitter still stands out. They haven't done so. This is according to the Indian government sources.
Right, Siddhant. Now, just in the end, just for more clarity, as you know, last month there was a lot of panic on social media about Twitter being banned and Instagram being banned. Just to put that to rest, how do you assess the future of Twitter in India in the future?
Well, of course, Twitter is something which has become part and parcel of everyone, at least here in the national capital and India's urban centers. But whether there will be a ban or not, this is a larger political question. As of now, there is no hint which has been given by the Indian government that they're going to ban social media giants. And it is highly unlikely that a liberal, large democracy, one of the largest democracy, will do so or ban social media giants like Twitter. But nonetheless, it is the job of these social media giants also to comply with the rules of India. And this is something they have not been doing it. And also, since they are not doing so, they are going to face the heat because they are not following the rule of the land, which is equal for everyone.
All right, Siddhant, thank you for all the clarity on that. Hopefully, some of the panic on social media has been avoided. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.